Hey guys, I'm trying to find a way to make faster videos so you guys can get quicker content. So, instead of doing what I normally do, which is drawing a whole bunch of pictures and talking as those pictures are shown, I will instead do one big old picture and have that be shown in the background, me drawing it, and talking about whatever subject I have in the video. In my opinion, it'll be a lot more faster instead of worrying about what everything will look like. It's not going to be all of my videos, it's just going to be the ones that I talk in. And my music videos still going to be the same music video, but they take months to create, so I want to be able to put up more videos more often, so you guys don't have to wait for like a month and a half for something to pop up, okay? Alright, let's get started. The live action version of The Little Mermaid is coming out soon, and I am nowhere near excited about it. And considering how well the other live action movies did, I expect this movie to do just as well as them. It also doesn't help that Disney just released a book that basically spoiled the whole movie, so I don't even need to see the movie to know it's going to suck. Especially with all the unnecessary changes that they did with the movie to make it better. One of the unnecessary changes that they did was having Ariel lose her memory so she doesn't remember the deal. So when that scene in Kiss the Girl where Ariel was supposed to lean in for a kiss for Eric, it is now Eric leaning in the kiss for Ariel, just for Ariel to pull away because she no longer remembers the deal. What is the point of that? I know what's the point of it outside of the story, but what is the point of it inside the story? If you think about it, what is Ursula's reason to make Ariel forget the deal? Out of anything, it's just cheating. Yeah, we know she's the bad guy, but she's supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be a reasonable deal. If she decided to, I'm going to erase your memory too, Ariel is going to question it because, yeah, she's a bit naive and airheaded, but she is still clever and smart. She is aware that she's being, there's some cheating in amongst of this. So it makes no sense why Ursula will make give Ariel another crutch unless you have to think about it outside the story. If it only makes sense outside the whole plot, it does not work. If in the story, the whole change you did does not work inside that story, you have failed. You have failed what you were trying to do. Another thing, an unnecessary change they did was having Eric defeat Ursula. Instead of having Eric defeating Ursula, they decided to have Ariel defeat Ursula because Ursula is Ariel's villain, not Eric. But here's the thing, in the original series, the reason why it's Eric's doing it is because, one, it shows how much he really loves Ariel and how they're like a team because Ariel and Eric does save each other throughout the entire movie if you actually watch the goddamn movie. But also, it shows Triton that, hey, humans are not so bad. He killed the evil witch and saved my daughter. Maybe I will give her wish. No, he decided to, not to do that, so Triton doesn't see how good humans are. And apparently in the book, it says that Ariel just moped around being miserable the entire time, wanted to be on land, so he just gave in and gave her legs just so she could stop being miserable. Okay, whatever. I think it's a bad way to send a message to little girls. Okay, on one hand, yes, girls need to start defending themselves, need to be a little bit stronger. They don't need to always rely on a guy to help them out. However, it is also incredibly toxic to teach girls that you should not rely on guys. You should do everything yourself. You must save yourself. You should never ask for help unless it's from another woman. It's just disappointing of what they do, and I might be looking too into it, but I'm sick and tired of all these stories where you take away a successful thing from a guy and gave it to a girl and call it progressive. But it's not. It's not really not. If you have to belittle a guy to make a girl look better, the girl looks even weaker. So for a girl to be good at anything, the guy has to suck absolutely a lot. He's just garbage. He's just bad at everything he does. And that's apparently an accomplishment for Disney now, that a girl has to be better than a garbage guy who just can't do anything and a girl can do everything. That's not a very good thing. I would not feel good for myself that the reason why I am better than everyone else is just because everybody else sucks. That does not make me feel better. It makes me feel worse about my talents than anything. I hate messages like those. So I'm very disappointed that Disney would even continue trying to do a message like this. Not even just Disney, Hollywood itself. It's just disappointing, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Let's talk about something else. Not just to talk about something else. Okay, what could have they done? What could have done? They could have just made an entirely new movie. They can still have the Little Mermaid story in mind, just not the Disney version. Just not like the Ariel one. They don't need to use Ariel. They don't need to use Eric. They didn't even need to use Triton. They can still use the story of the Little Mermaid, the original, the story of the Dutch version. That's what the original Little Mermaid did. They used the story but changed it so it could be their version. They didn't copy it. They make it entertaining, and look what happened. It's one of the most beloved movies ever. You decided to reimagine it, twink it, to make it quote-unquote better because you think you know better. I hope you're right. I hope this movie does well for you. Maybe you can prove me wrong, but this could have been so many other things you could have done. Like I said, just use the story premise of The Little Mermaid without using the Disney version of The Little Mermaid. Or, even better, use a folklore of the African mermaid they have there. It's right there. It's literally right there. You can just read about it. You can research, and it can have been a whole black cast. It can be full of black mermaids there. And then no one would even bat an eye because it's an original story. You're not trying to force any changes. It is there. But if you insist of using the Disney version of The Little Mermaid, then make a sequel. There was an animated series. It's a whole bunch of characters there. And you can make new characters in it too. No one cares if you make new characters as long as it's reasonable. And you don't try to show off to any other characters. Alright. I do have a story in mind, which is what inspired me to draw the picture you see right now. Alright. My story, or at least my idea, is to have Ariel do her last adventure with Urchin and Gabriella before they get too busy with their life. What I want is to have the plot revolve around 1. Ariel trying to bring harmony between humans and mermaids. 2. Have Urchin finally be officially adopted by Triton and be king of the sea, at least trained to be king of the sea. And 3. Finally get an ending or a conclusion for Gabriella's story of her wishing to have a voice so she can sing. To be perfectly honest, I don't want to give her a voice. I do not want to give her the ability to have her ending with her getting a voice so she can sing, because I think that's a bad message. Sometimes people don't get what they want. Sometimes dreams do not come true, which it's a harsh reality. But it is. Just because you dreamed hard enough doesn't mean it's going to come true. Sometimes people have limitations and they can't do it, especially with people with disability. Sometimes people won't be able to walk, won't be able to see, and in Gabriella's case, won't be able to talk. And I want the story to end with her not getting a voice or her ever be able to talk. And that's fine. It'll be a story of her accepting her fate and what she has, and which is okay. Some people can't do it, and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with her. She just has to find other ways to express herself and do what she loves to do, which is music. Maybe she can write songs, maybe she plays instruments. She just can't sing, which is completely fine, and it's okay. Another thing that I want to do in the story is to add a conflict other than feelings. One of the plots would be the conflict between humans and mer people, and that's what keeping Ariel busy. And she has a little issue of the mer people not respecting Ariel because she basically ditched the land. She basically ditched the sea for the land, and she feels like people are no longer seeing her as a mer person because that feeling of abandonment. And that abandonment feeling feels more intense with Urchin, who was either abandoned by his parents or they died, but we don't know. But he also felt like that he was abandoned by Ariel, who decided to just run away from the sea and go to the land. And that to be a conflict. But I also want like an actual villain. So I want sirens. At least one by siren that controls the rest of the sirens. And having one good siren who has the strongest voice, who can actually beat her but is too scared and some cautious to do it. Aria, this mer person that I created, is a siren. And she is the sweetest girl you ever meet, but she's incredibly shy and she doesn't like causing conflict. She doesn't like fighting. So So most of the time she has had to deal with the evil siren, she usually just runs away. The siren, what I want is the siren to have like this big giant plan to figure out how to drown all of the humans. And she discovered that she can do like this one giant spell to do that, which creates a huge typhoon to drown all of the land and just be nothing but sea. But for her to perform this spell, this very powerful spell, she needs all the sirens to sing, and she needs, more specifically, Arya, who has the strongest voice, to sing. Arya discovered the plan, and to foil the plan, she decided to get rid of her voice. But she couldn't bring herself to destroy it. So all she did was sing a little glass bubble and toss it into the sea, hoping that no one will ever find it. But unbeknownst to her, Gabriella's the one who found it and used it as her own voice, because she feels like someone has abandoned their voice, so might as well give it to someone who actually needs it herself. And this is the part that I get stuck at. I don't know what to do with the rest of the story. I only know the beginning part and the end part. I don't know anything about the middle part. It just kind of like feels flaky in the middle. But I'm not here to write an entire story. I'm here to give you an idea what they could have done. So it's okay. It's fine. It's just an idea, and it's okay. I don't need to write out an entire scene. It's just an idea. Something I can work on later, and who knows? If you guys actually want to hear more of it, I might do a whole video on it. Maybe. And that is it for the video. I'm sorry for the cliffhanger. I truly didn't want to like go on a tangent and make this video a lot longer than it should be. If this video does well, and if people actually want to hear my version of The Little Mermaid, maybe, a huge maybe, I'll do it. I just gotta figure out how to do it. Do it like I did with this video, or do it like every other video and show like pages but talk over it, and I don't have to do like much moving stuff. I'll figure it out. But that's only if you guys want it, like if this video is a huge success. So yeah, anyways, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I see you next time. Bye!